Hello Custodians. In this video we will continue with our chapter 4 of geography, that is the mineral and power resources, and today we will discuss about power resources. So let's start the powerful chapter. Power resources. Power is needed for growth and development in various fields in today's life. However, the distribution of power resources is uneven or inadequate. The power resources can be classified as conventional and non-conventional resources. The conventional sources of or conventional resources of power are the age-old resources which are put to use to derive power, like coal, petroleum, natural gas and nuclear energy. These conventional resources are often found to be exhaustible, that is, they have limited reserves and they will get exhausted if they are continued to be used or consumed at the same rate. On the other hand, when we see the newly developed or resources or which are put to use nowadays extensively due to advancement in science and technology, such resources are known as the non-conventional sources of energy, and these include the solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, tidal energy and biogas or biomass energy. Now let's discuss some conventional sources of energy in detail. The first being coal. Coal was actually the main source of power for industrial revolution in Europe, and it is most abundant source of power also. The layers of varying thickness of coal are found in sedimentary rocks, and depending upon the content of carbon present in it or percentage of carbon present in it, the coal can be peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite, out of which anthracite is considered to be the best quality or superior quality of coal, containing around 99.9% of carbon, and it is widely used in thermal power plants for generating electricity. The coal reserves, they are unevenly distributed worldwide, mostly in China, USA, Russia, Ukraine, South Africa, India, Australia, Germany, UK and Canada are the places where coal is found in abundance, and China is the largest producer of coal in the world. The coal reserves in India are around 16,000 crore metric tons, and about 80% of this 16,000 crore, that is around 144,000 crore, is found in the Damodar river valley. The coal mining areas in India include Jharia, Dhanbad, Giridih, Bokaro and Raniganj. New coal fields are also developed at Neyveli in Tamil Nadu, Singareni in Telangana, Korba in Chhattisgarh and Talcher in Odisha. It is the railways and steel industry that consumes half of the total production of coal in India. Petroleum, as we all know, is derived from organic materials which are trapped in layers of sedimentary rocks deep under the sea. The important oil fields, they are located along the margins of Youngfold Mountains, that is on the edges of Youngfold Mountains, in the coastal areas and in the offshore regions. Like coal, the distribution of petroleum is also uneven throughout the world. Nowadays, economically speaking, mineral oil or petroleum has a greater importance in economy. A large number of petro-based products are obtained by refining the crude mineral oil or petroleum, and even the raw material of the waste material obtained by refining petroleum becomes a raw material for many products. That's why petroleum is also known as black gold. The total reserve of mineral oil present in the world, out of this total reserve, 65% of the total oil reserve of the world is found around the Persian Gulf. In this, the countries mainly included are the Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, United States, United Arab Emirates, Qatar and Bahrain. Apart from these Gulf countries, other important countries like I told you, USA already, Russia, Venezuela, China, Indonesia, Algeria, Egypt, Libya, India and Myanmar. In the North Sea, it is the United Kingdom, Norway, Denmark, Germany and the Netherlands. This area, in these countries, new mineral oil deposit have been found. In India, petroleum or mineral oil was drilled only in Assam, that is Digboi in Assam, where we have the oil refinery. Also in Gujarat, the coastal area of Mumbai and in the Krishna Godavari Delta, new reserves have been discovered. The natural gas, it is found above the petroleum well or above the petroleum deposits, but at some places it is found alone without any petroleum deposit. The larger fields of gas without oil have been found. Due to ignorance, large gas deposits, they have been wasted. It was either allowed to escape into the air or it was burnt off. But now, with the advancement and improvement in technology, the natural gas has been put to use as a fuel. In fact, both as a domestic and industrial fuel. USA is the largest producer and consumer of natural gas, along with countries like Russia, the Netherlands, China, Iran and UK. In India, the Mumbai High, Gujarat, Assam, Tamil Nadu and Tripura are the important centers where natural gas is extracted. Also, fresh or new deposits have been discovered in Krishna Godavari deltas. Apart from coal, petroleum and natural gas, it is the hydel power which has been put to use from last 2 centuries. The hydel power is more advantageous over fossil fuels in terms of creating pollution. The hydel power is inexhaustible resource. Second, it is pollution free. It do not create any pollution like fossil fuels. The hydel power can be utilized by making use of the energy of falling water. The falling water, either naturally or by it can be made to fall by building dams across river channels, is allowed. This falling water is allowed or channelized to fall on a turbine to move the blades, which in turn rotate the generator to produce electricity, and the water which is coming out of the turbine is again used for irrigation purposes. In developed countries like USA, Canada, Russia, Sweden, Norway, New Zealand and China, hydel power projects are there. In India, a large number of MRVP, that is multi-purpose river valley projects, have been developed, like the Bhakra Nangal, the Hirakud, the Damodar Valley Corporation, the Nagarjun Sagar, the Kosi, the Koyna, Rihand and Narmada Valley power projects. Next we have the nuclear energy. Nuclear energy or nuclear power is obtained by bringing about change in the structure of atom or by making the neutrons present in the atom of an element to move or to disintegrate by disintegrating the nucleus. So this disintegration of the nucleus releases neutrons at a much higher speed along with a high quantity of heat energy, and it is this heat energy released from the disintegrating nucleus which is used to generate electricity. The first nuclear power station in the world was started in UK in 1956, but later on USA became the leader, and now USA is having largest number of nuclear power stations in the world. Other countries include Japan, Germany, Russia, France, Sweden, Canada, Australia and Spain. Even the developing countries nowadays, they have started using nuclear power as an alternative to conventional methods of electricity. And these developing countries include India, Pakistan, Iran, North Korea, Egypt, Brazil, South Korea, Taiwan and Argentina. The main nuclear power stations situated in India are at Tarapur in Maharashtra, Kalapakkam, Tamil Nadu, Rawatbhata, Narora, Kakrapada and Kota. Now we will see the non-conventional sources of energy. These sources are gaining importance due to fast depleting conventional sources of energy. Also, due to advancement in technology, it is possible now to utilize these sources for obtaining or meeting the energy requirements. So in the first non-conventional source is solar energy. As we know, sun is the ultimate source of energy on the earth. In the tropical region, it is widely available as solar energy, but it is not fully developed due to inappropriate technology. Now photovoltaic cells, they have been introduced and they are put to use to convert sunlight into electricity. In the heating and cooling appliances, this solar energy is being employed. We can see lots of solar water heaters even in street lighting, cooking, pumping, and we can see solar ponds which are based on this solar energy. And in India, sincere efforts are being made to utilize or explore solar energy on a larger scale. Next we have the wind energy. It is another important source of non-conventional energy and it is almost available everywhere on the earth. The investment is large, but it is only at initial stages. Its operating cost is almost negligible, and once electricity starts generating, it is a source of cost-free power on a regular basis. The first country to harness wind energy by making use of windmills was Netherlands, and nowadays wind farms are set up in the coastal areas and in the mountain passes where strong and steady winds blow. The wind farms, they have a cluster of windmills, and this cluster of windmills, they generate electricity at a much larger scale. The wind farms, they have been developed in countries like Denmark, Germany, UK, USA, Spain, China and India. Next we have geothermal energy. It is the energy derived from hot springs naturally occurring or by emission of dry or wet stream from hot rocks at great depths. This energy can be used to generate electricity, but it is not possible to harness this at every place because these hot springs and jet streams, they are not available everywhere on the surface. USA and Iceland are the leaders in generating electricity from geothermal energy, along with Italy, Japan, New Zealand, Russia, Turkey and India. Next we have the tidal energy. It is the rise and fall of sea water in coastal areas, that is known as tide. So the energy from high and low tides is used to turn the turbines and therefore to generate electricity. But still, this technology requires more advanced techniques or steps to be taken to harness this form of energy. So it is not yet fully developed, but it is used to generate electricity in countries like France, UK, Russia and India. Next we have biogas. Now we have conservation of mineral and power resources. See, continuous use and exploration of mineral and power resources, they have sometimes led to even exploitation and wasteful use of minerals and power resources, and they have created a threat for the exhaustion of these mineral and power resources. Therefore, some steps are required to use these resources in an efficient and judicious way, and these steps include efficient utilization of resources, improvement in the technique of extraction and purification to avoid wastage. Even recycling of resources can be a better way to reutilize these resources which are lying waste. Saving the mines, mineral mines from collapsing and use of alternative energy resources is also recommended to conserve mineral and power resources. That's all we have. Thank you and have a nice day.